elements in the list. And then we start this loop. We say while current.next. So here's our issue. Current is null because there's nothing in the list, so this loop can't run. So we get a null pointer exception right here when we try to call current.next. And in fact, the debugger has noticed this and warned us in advance that we're going to be accessing current.next, and if we do that, we'll get a null pointer exception. So here's the location of our bug. Yeah?
Wait, just wondering, if there were a bug in add front with the object calling it, you try to call, or never mind, because with the when you have make end.next, oh no, never mind, my bad.
Add front should be okay.
Yeah, add front's fine.
Yeah, but add back definitely has a problem. Okay, so how do we fix this? We found the bug, now what do we do? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I didn't figure it out. So I think what you want to do is if your head pointer is a null, which is and that means the back of the list, first of all, you add front, add back, and so you just make your head equal to that new node.
Okay, so if head is null, then we'll just make that the front of our list. Exactly. So this is how we solve the issue. And if we rerun it now, just restart the debugger. So you can modify code while the debugger's running and then go back and redo it. If we do that, we're back in add back. Okay. Okay. Now we create our new node. We check if head equals null. It is. So we set head equal to n and return. And now head correctly has the first element. All right. Cool. So that's the first bug. We found a function that crashes. Awesome. How about the second bug? What function does nothing? Do you want to try? Remove back. Okay, so remove back does nothing under certain conditions.
So I think because it has the while current.next does not equal null update current basically. At some point it hits the place where current.next is null, and then it sets current.next to null again, thereby not doing anything.
Ah, cool. Yes. Let's show that happening. So if, oops, I'm going to add a few calls just to, now that we fixed add back, I can add some elements. So let's add 1, 2, 3, and then call remove back to get rid of that 3. And we'll set a breakpoint on remove back. I'll recompile and debug. Okay, so we are at, oh, wait, I left a breakpoint on add back. Okay, so if that ever happens, if you have an extra breakpoint you forgot about, I like to just get rid of it, clear it, and then go and hit resume, and then fast forward to where we want it to get to. So now we're here in remove back, and we can check out our list. We have a head, it points to 1, and then we can open up all the next pointers and see our entire list. So we've got 1, 2, 3 in here, and now we're going to call remove back. So what happens in remove back? We start by creating this current pointer, and then we will iterate through the list until current.next equals null. So let's run this a few times, and we'll get to the point where item is 3, and at that point current.next equals null. There's nothing after 3. So we'll exit the loop, and then we set current.next equal to null. But we're already at the end. So we missed our chance. We needed to remove the 3, but we got to the 3, and we can't go back. Which pointer do we actually want to modify? Which node do we want to modify? That's right. Yes. So what we actually wanted to modify was 2. Because in order to get rid of 3, that's equivalent to setting 2's next to be null. But in our loop, we got to 3, and that was too late. So we need to change our condition. Instead of current.next being null, what should we check instead? Current.next.next, yeah. So let's add another next to say we're at the second to last element. Okay, but what happens if we do this? Does that cause any problems? Yeah. Yeah, so what happens if we have just one element in the list? Yep, we would call next, get null, call next again, and crash. Okay, so we have fixed our while condition, but we still need to modify our code a little bit to get it to work. So what should we add? Okay. Okay, so we need if current, or actually, you said if current dot next equals null, then we'll set head equal to null. Okay. Does this look good? Is this okay? I see you shaking your head. Why are you shaking your head? Good point. Okay, so we can either do that or just add a return here. Okay. Does that look good? Yeah. Yeah. So what if head is null? Right. So we solve the issue of if we just have one element, but we still might have 0 elements. So we need to add one more check. Very similar to what we did in add back, where we added this head equals null check. We can do that in remove back as well. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to write if current equals null or current.next equal null. Why is this okay? Why can I put these both in the if and not cause a crash? Bingo. Yeah. So this is called short circuiting in conditions. If the first condition, if we're in OR, for example, we're looking for anything that's true. So if we find current equals null is true, we're done. We already know this whole expression is true, and we don't evaluate current.next. If current is null, then we move on to, or sorry, if current is not null, this is false, so then we move on to checking this. And because from the first check, we knew that current was not null, we know there is a current that we can call next on. So now if we rerun our new code, just to show it working, we check our new check, but we have 3 elements. I'll just show that. We have 3 elements, so we don't hit our null checks. And then if current.next.next is null, we stop. So we go to 1, now we're at 2, and we stop. So current is 2, its next is 3. We now set current.next equal null, and our list just has 2 elements. So we're good. So yep, that was the second bug. Remove back, does nothing, and we fixed it. Okay, so that's all the time we have. If you have any other questions, you can ask me. I'll stick around a bit. But thanks for coming. Hope that was helpful. All the materials will be posted online, so you'll have them for reference. And there was a live stream as well, so you can check that out.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Have a good weekend. Anyway, I hope we convinced you that using the debugger is very useful. Yeah. Might be able to answer. Sure. Sometimes that happens, I don't think it's happening with this, but if you have multiple files that you submit, you swap out like one of them to see if the other one works. And I'm used to seeing issues like this where like both of your classes have like the same bug that cancels it out on your machine. So if you replace one of the files, it breaks. That's what I'm used to, but I'm not sure because this is very simple and this is one class. And also it seems to work with a longer thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might be able to take a look at your code later and see if it's weird about it. Yeah, thanks for leaving.
Is there something?
Oh, oh, did it just die? Yeah. It looks like it was okay to compile it fairly quickly.
Okay. Oh yeah, you
But
have,
I just
don't have much battery either.
That's fine.